Hello friends and welcome to this video. My name is Shahab, and in this video I want to add a new entity to cover the future concepts. And it's a good situation to review the previous concepts. Okay, let's start coding. Inside the domain entities and inside the module of school, I need to create a new class. I will call it teacher. Every entity in AUA needs to inherit from a domain entity. Here you can specify that what is the type of the primary key. For example, I can put int here, or long, or whatever you want. Okay, whatever type that .NET is supported, you can put here. In this example, the primary key is long. Okay, I will put long here. Well, next step is to create its config. Well, here I need to inherit from identity configuration identity type configuration. And its implementation. Let me copy some of these codes from here. But here for the address, I want to put max string length of 500, but as you see, it is not available. So I will come to length consts and create another one for my purpose. Let me check it again. Very good. First name, last name, and address. The next step is to create the model. I will create a DTO for my entity. Okay, every DTO needs to inherit from base entity DTO. And I need to pass the type of the primary key here, which is long here. And also I need to use I map from here. Well, let me copy these fields from the entity and paste them here. Well, by IMAP from, you can easily map the entity into the DTO. But if your mapping process is very complicated, you can easily use from other type of mapping in this framework, which is I have custom mapping. I have custom mappings. I will explain it later, but this is the other option that the AUA framework is prepared. Well, everything is okay. And the next step is to create the services inside business service. Well, let me copy this. Teacher service. Let me check it. Yes, this is correct. And instead of student service, teacher service. Every interface, as you know, in the AUA framework needs to inherit from generic entity service. And the first argument that this interface needs is the entity itself, which is teacher here. And the second one is the DTO. And for the third and last one, you need to specify the type of the primary key. Well, and its service. Teacher service. And also every service needs to inherit from a generic entity service. Again, it has three arguments. First, you need to pass the entity, second DTO, and the third one is the type of the primary key. Type of it. Very good. Almost the last step is to register these services inside Web API folder and inside the registration services, inside entity service. You need to register that interface here inside registration school service. It is finished now. All the things we need to do is create a controller for the teacher and use from these services. Inside areas folder and inside module of school, I need to create a controller, an API controller. teacher controller. I don't need this routing. And every controller in the AUA framework needs to inherit from base API controller. And now the injection of the service. Well, as you know, the output of every API action inside the AUA framework is from result model. And it will return the ID, which is lying. I will pass the DTO here. Teacher DTO. Okay. Var of teacher ID is equal to plate teacher service dot. There are several kinds of insert here inside the AUA. I will explain them in the future videos. Now I want to use insert async. Okay, and return create success result, which will return an ID, and it is the teacher ID. And the verb here. Okay, now let me create a migration. Don't forget to put default project on data layer. Okay, now I will put a breakpoint here and run the project. Well, here app type code. App type code indicates that what is the application. Is it a smartphone or website or something? Okay, now let me enter some data, for example fn1, ln1, and add1. Okay, now the ID of 1, which is our entry, and let me continue. Is success is true, there is no errors, and result is 1, which is the ideal. Let me check the database here. Now I want to get all teachers. Well, I will write here var teacher details is equal teacher service dot get all detail. Okay, and this dot to list async. This will return all of the details. And a breakpoint here, and again run the project. FM2, LM2, and add 2. Okay, now the teacher ID is 2, which is the second entry, and the teacher details return for us 2 of them. I mean all of them, and the first one is the first entry, and the second one is the second entry. Let me check the database here. Okay. Here, whenever you wanted to set the entity itself inside services and save it, it's better to use get all instead of get all DTO. And when you want to send it to API, use, for example, get all DTO. And here you can filter the output. For example, I want to filter it by where, and I want it returned for me just the p.id, which is equal to 1. Okay, let me check it again. Okay, the teacher ID return 3, and the teacher details return 1 item for me, and it is the ID of 1. Perfect. That's it. Thank you for watching.